Hello there, and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports and 3Chi. I am your host, Robbie Fox. With me is my co-host, Darth Clem, and we are here for the finale recap of Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is part 6, and it's the final part so far. We don't know if we're going to get more. Ewan McGregor keeps saying he wants to play this character more. They definitely set it up for a potential season 2 at the end, so I think we probably will get more. But Clem, what did you think of the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Robbie. I thought actually I just realized that there's people listening to this that aren't going to see the YouTube that we're both dressed up. I'm Vader and you are Obi-Wan and you're Jedi robe, so I won't talk like
Hello
Vader
there.
here. um Actually, yeah, let me take this off too, just so that people can actually hear me. Sorry, people. You guys are used to the Barstool difference in terms of audio quality, but you don't need me talking behind a Darth Vader mask. So I think after episode 4, it was the flat tire analogy is what I was running with. That became the thing. So I'd say we got to the mechanic. The pressure tire light was on, but it was also on before you start because it starts in the winter and then that just stays there all year basically. And they're gonna say, just a minor patch job, nothing shot. Don't need a new tire, don't need new rims. Could have been better, could have been worse. I think that's what I would. That's what my diagnosis would be from under the hood of the season, of the episode, whatever you want to do. More so the season than the episode in particular. What about you?
I liked it a lot. I liked the finale a lot. I tweeted that although this show wasn't the home run that we wanted it to be, it wasn't the Mandalorian level show where we were blown away every week. There were a lot of great moments, and I think I'm going to look back at the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and think of those great moments. A lot of those moments happening in this episode. You also woke up at 3 in the morning to watch this with me, which I appreciated. We watched it together.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. We've done this a few times. Did it for WandaVision, maybe Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We haven't had. We're hoping that we catch one of those holy shit moments together. And I wouldn't say this had a holy shit moment. It had a couple pretty cool moments, couple emotional moments. But yeah, 3 a.m. And this is someone that wakes up at 4 a.m. basically, 4:30. AJ wakes my ass up on a pretty consistent basis. 3 a.m. is a whole different beast. I don't think I actually went to sleep because I was like having like these, oh shit, I don't want to like miss it. I have to get up. So I was kind of playing in my head. The Mets had they were up till they were playing till like 11. So I'm in a weird place right now. I'm not quite the dark side, but I'm not quite the light side. I'm not sure where I am right now. I imagine that probably happens. I was thinking about this. When you go in hyperdrive, like think how much like jet lag fucks you up. You think there's like hyperdrive lag?
No
You go to
doubt.
different universes and shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Different galaxies.
I think that's definitely a thing. Now, let's get into the episode because there's a lot to talk about. It was a longer episode. It wasn't the 93 minutes that we wanted it to be. It was about 50, though. And it felt like a finale, I got to say. It felt like they wrapped a lot of things up here.
We were hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived by, what was it, the Bro Bible? Or it was one of those like
Yeah, I think it was,
nerdy podcasts or complex. I don't remember what it was. Nonetheless, I don't know how they would have squeezed another 40 minutes out of this. I think they probably were all right with the way that they had it going. And by the way, spoilers. If you're hitting play on these things without seeing it, you're a crazy person. But we kick it off and it's like, all right, we're ready to rock. And then it's like fucking Tatooine as it always was. And I can let it go. I can let it go because it's like this is when Tatooine should be the part of it. It's Luke.
Yeah.
He's a big part of this entire story. So I just thought it was funny. And I did want to get your thoughts on this on the pod before we get into Obi-Wan. Did you see the quote that Taika Waititi had about his Star Wars movie?
He said he was going to completely go astray from the original trilogy characters, right? And kind of do his own thing.
Yep. And I would personally love it if he went early, he went late. I don't know how much in the future you want to go because then that could impact everything that happens beforehand. But we've talked about this as long as this podcast has basically been going, right? It's like at some point, let's just get away. And he said, like, oh, is that Chewbacca's grandma in the background? It's like, let's just get rid of this shit. Let's get fucking so far away. And that was a cool part about Mando, at least for me, for a little while, is a lot of that did become like its own little universe. And you did have your obviously Baby Yoda stuff that came out. So I personally like that idea. I think after this series too, I'm like, I think I'm ready to say goodbye to the Skywalker. I don't need to know. No one has to be related to Luke, Leia, the Emperor, whoever the fuck it is. Let's just start afresh.
Agreed. And I think Andor is going to give us some of that as well. At least from the little trailer that we saw, it did look like a different kind of Star Wars in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they give us that in August. We do open on Tatooine, like you said, and Riva is there looking for Luke. She's obviously injured already from getting stabbed. She's weak. It's in the closed captioning as well. Like Riva stumbles around and everything, and she messes with Obi-Wan's old boss at the beginning as well. He's like giving her some attitude. She gives him the attitude back. Do you think Obi-Wan's old boss realized he's been gone? Do you think he's like, where the fuck did that guy go? He stopped showing up to work.
It's like that motherfucker. It's like, but you know what? Like, I'm not losing like this little sliver of meat every single time because I know that scumbag is stealing from me
Yeah.
too. I have a theory too. You know who pointed Riva out? You know who pointed this guy out to Riva?
Who?
Max Rebo, that motherfucking snitch. You know Max Rebo pointed out. I was like, hey, Riva, you looking to fuck someone up? I know you have a lightsaber
No,
in
not
your
my guy
pocket.
Max. No, he was on Tatooine, right? I mean,
Bob, it's all adding up. It's all adding up.
Obi-Wan is on the rebel ship that's getting attacked by the Star Destroyer. They're getting shot at. The shields are up, but they're not holding for long. And he realizes he must leave to save all of these people. It's a tough sell to Leia because Leia is like, you told me you were going to take me all the way home. Now you're leaving me. He gives her a holster to make her feel a little bit better. And also, our guy Kumail goes and talks to her. He's like, I talked to her for you, made it a little bit better. Pretty typical thing of a kid in this situation, I would think. The one person she knows is about to leave her, and she's like, what the fuck? I'm getting left again?
I'll never forget. And granted, this is a much different age range. I think Sienna was 1 at the time. My wife had to get off the train. She was visiting a friend, and I had to go home with Sienna the rest of the way. And it was straight up waterworks. And that's, you love your mom. You also love the fucking Jedi warrior that's kept your ass alive for the last couple of episodes. So I completely understand that. Then again, there's nothing worse than when you're driving somewhere, especially a long ride, and like, oh, by the way, we have to make a pit stop that's like an hour out of the way, or in this like 35 parsecs out of the way, or whatever the hell the distant measurement is. I could completely be like, all right, see you later, man. I'm going to go with this fake ass Jedi here. He's been pretty cool to me the whole time. And listen, basement fan, boys, basement girls, everyone who supported us the whole time. I'm going to apologize right now. I fucked up. I must have missed it the last episode. I didn't see that they had mentioned that the hyperdrive was broken. We have to be all over those goddamn Star Wars tropes because we've been talking about that. I think even in like the first or second episode, we're like, man, I can't believe Riva didn't break the hyperdrive on Obi-Wan's ship. Turns out it was broken. So that is completely on me. However, it did give me those little pangs. And again, this is just them kind of, time is a flat circle in Star Wars. It had that Empire feel. It even had the chase song from Empire, I feel, in the beginning when the Star Destroyer is going after the ship. And I'll tell you, that makes those feelings bubble up in there. So Taika, if you're staying in the, Taika, you're basically taking the training wheels off if you get away from this, because you could just get those little pangs there by just giving us a little hint of movies like Empire. I was like engaged right away, even though it was like 3:10 in the morning as this scene was going off.
Oh, yeah. I loved this. I thought it was awesome. And just the way Obi-Wan talked to the ship made me feel like he was like back in his Jedi ways. The way he was kind of giving a speech to all of them, I was like, all right, this is Clone Wars Obi-Wan. This is prequel Obi-Wan. He's getting his mojo back. He's getting his nerves up to go fight Anakin again. I liked that. And then we get
I wanted to ask you that too, because as someone that hasn't really watched much of the Clone Wars or any of the cartoons and stuff like that, the only guy I know is from the prequels. And I feel like people that were a little let down about Obi-Wan, which, hey, 10 years of doing nothing and seeing your fucking apprentice as this asthmatic robot that's, could just murder people, it's probably would fuck you up a bit. But I do think there's probably people who are like, man, General Kenobi was a badass. I want that badass back. So I'm sure you were happy to see him here, but I guess that's kind of what was missing the last few episodes for people that saw that, right?
And that's kind of just like the flat circle thing with Jedi. That's what happens to Jedi. They get sad. They go into a, recluse phase. They go into the phase where they don't want to do any Jedi stuff. They don't want to come out because they feel like they're a failure. And then something has to happen and they get them out of that. And that's what happens to Jedi. I'm wearing the Jedi robe right now. I get it. I'm a Jedi.
You know what it is? Every Jedi has a sad boy season.
Oh, they do.
He fights. Throw a fucking lightsaber in like a special release of your shoes, and I guarantee you'll get a bunch of nerds buying those. Just sad Jedi with a little like blue lightsaber. He's looking down. And listen, Anakin went through his sad boy season. He handled it in a very bad way that most Jedis do not handle it. But the Jedi also don't have like a good roadmap of how to handle it. It's like, just go somewhere that no one else knows where you are and mope by yourself for a few fucking decades.
Yeah. And Anakin was like, I'm going to go become Space Hitler. We get our first Luke scene of the series. We actually get to see Luke, and my first thought was he looks like a young Anakin, like his haircut, his outfit, the way he was talking to the guy in the like mechanic shop or wherever they were. I was like, this is very young Anakin, Phantom Menace-y. And then a friend quickly comes in and tells Owen, I think he tells them where we cut away, like, you've been discovered, like someone's out there looking for you, so you better go home and tell Beru to, arm up, which she does have the arms in a little box. Beru stays strapped. He goes back, tells Aunt Beru, and she pulls the guns out of every little nook and cranny in that farm.
Aunt Beru keeps that thing on her. I think Aunt Beru might be the biggest winner of the Obi-Wan Kenobi
Respect,
series.
yeah. A lot of respect for Aunt Beru.
No. Like Uncle Owen always carries himself like a dick. And you have to kind of do that, I think, if you're like the step uncle that's raising the kid that's not yours. Or I think just some dads will just be the dick right away. So you don't even try to get anything on them. Good cop, bad cop, right? But like there's bad cop Owen, and then there's fucking like crazy ass unhinged cop in Aunt Beru who just is fucking packing fucking heat. I feel like they gave the stormtroopers a fight in A New Hope now. I feel like
I was thinking that.
I'm like, behind those charred bodies inside that compound, there's a fucking like pile of dead ass stormtroopers that Aunt Beru just went fucking Rambo on. Just fucking flamethrowers, laser beams. Oh man, Aunt Beru.
That's the new miniseries we need. Beru.
Taika, listen, I know you said you want to leave this galaxy. If not, give us a Beru. I am 1,000% in for a Beru.
This is the one thing we're signing up for Tatooine residency on. We're like, all right, bring us to Tatooine for Beru and Beru only.
I never want to go to Tatooine unless it's a Beru series where it's basically Rambo. It's just Beru.
Yeah. By the way, did you know this actress that plays Beru? She was the one that played Aunt Beru in episode 3. She got like abducted into a cult in between this.
What?
She was like, was it called the Nexium cult? Something like that. They made a whole HBO documentary about it, and she was like one of the stars.
And it was between her reveal in Sith and then this.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I did not know that. That is very interesting. The holy cow. And she got out of it.
Yeah, she's out of it now. She's out of the cult, and she's kind of like a spokesperson for like, hey, that cult was doing crazy things.
Bonnie Peace is her name.
Yeah.
And I was trying to like. I don't know what to say. I was like, Beru, like, it's just weird seeing Beru. It's like, oh, like, I'm not trying to mock myself, but it's like just weird seeing Beru as a young, vibrant woman, let alone one that's ready to fucking just murder motherfuckers at the drop of a hat here. So I kind of like the young exuberance. Yeah, here we go. I'm looking at her. Her name is Bonnie, Piesse. Yeah, man, crazy fucking life. And this is basically all she's been in, though.
Yeah, no, she hasn't been in a ton. Yeah.
Well, she's about to be in her own fucking Disney Plus series if the people at Disney know what the fuck they're doing.
So Obi-Wan takes off in his escape transport. The Grand Inquisitor doesn't want to go after him. He's like, let's just stay after the rebels. We'll take out their entire path site or whatever it is. And Vader's like, no, we're going after the fucking Obi-Wan. What are you, nuts? We see a Star Destroyer turn. And when we were watching this at 3 a.m, it made both of us go, huh? Did we just see a Star Destroyer turn for the first time? Like, I know in Rogue One, we saw them hammerhead the one into the other. So we've seen it like be forced to change direction. Not often you see a Star Destroyer just flip on the blinkers and pop a left.
It was like seeing a battleship actually move in the water. And it's something you've just never seen before. And I was like, huh. And the fact we both, I was like Darth Vader, where he does like the turn back and look when the Millennium Falcon disappears. And this is like our glimpse into what Darth Vader becomes in Empire, where he's just so singularly focused on one ship, doesn't give a fuck. And again, that's not like the rebellion in that ship. That's a bunch of fucking stragglers. That's basically a bunch of refugees. Let them go. He doesn't know his daughter's in the ship, obviously. He doesn't give a fuck about some senator's quote unquote daughter in the ship. He just wants fucking Obi-Wan, and that is a very Darth Vader-y move. I would have loved if the Inquisitor pushed back a little. We get to see the, hey, shut the fuck up, I'm Darth Vader, like the little choke out or something like that. But it was
nice.
I don't know if you want to say like that could be like an establishment of Vader's fatal flaws, that he always just went for the, which to be fair, like if he had gotten the Millennium Falcon, well, I guess he did get the Millennium Falcon. He gets Obi-Wan, like he gets what he needs. That's more important than all the other bullshit he's
True.
dealing with.
True. That is true. True. It goes all the way throughout A
Say
New Hope.
facts,
He's
Bob.
like
Say
fucking
facts like the kids say. Facts.
facts. Facts. So Obi-Wan and Vader land on this deserted planet and they begin to fight. The rematch begins, and it's a cool looking planet, kind of like a bluish green atmosphere in the haze. There's a lot of random rocks and formations all around them that they wind up using with the Force, and they do a lot of cool Force tricks. At one point, Vader just like removes the ground below Obi-Wan's feet and makes him slip. I was like, that's cool. Obi-Wan does the classic pose with the fingers and everything. People go nuts for that. And their dialogue back and forth was very good as well. The way they were talking, he's like, "Did you come to destroy me, Obi-Wan?" He's like, "I'm gonna do what I must, motherfucker." Hits the pose. They get into it, and then we cut back to Owen and Beru trying to defend the farm. They're shooting at Reva. They were the ones that shot first. You were like, "Oh my god, look at them! They're like Greedo shooting first." And Luke runs off into a canyon in this moment. You kind of realize, all right, he's got to get away from the farm because he can't see her with a lightsaber because that would make Luke's whole, it would be weird. And I like the way that they handled Luke in this. I was afraid that he was going to see too much. He really didn't see anything.
Yeah, that was perfect the way they handled all of that. And yeah, Owen shot first. Don't try to, make Greedo shoot first. Don't try to, fucking special edition that shit. Keep it as is. We love it as it is. Uncle Owen, I also just love that he's just such a dick. He's just such a he's just such an asshole at all given times. But that I don't think we ever got the name of the planet where Obi-Wan and Vader
I was
meet.
looking for that. I couldn't find it. I think they did say it maybe once. They were like that planet there. They're going towards that planet or whatever. But I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it said like uninhibited planet I was reading and stuff like that. So whatever. And
Yeah.
we didn't know if it was going to be in a planet that had a very like a personality like Mustafa or whatever, but it didn't, which is fine. That shot, we both said it. That shot of the crescent moon as they're both walking towards each other was awesome. And I don't know if anyone else picked up on this, and I could be completely wrong. He might always have it. I feel like Vader had a couple extra green lights on. I feel like he's like, all right, this is battle mode. This is like Kenobi mode. We have to turn this shit up onto
like
all
sport mode on his Crocs.
Yeah, exactly. He's turning up the oxygen to like fucking premium level. He's using the good shit just because he knows he's gonna have Obi-Wan. And like you said, just an absolute fucking now I will say this, and I don't know if you agree, disagree. I think something that was missing in this series that maybe brings it up another notch, I think, in terms of a battle like this, and I think like even with Luke when they first introduce him in this episode, even throw me some John Williams. Throw me a little Luke theme in the background. Like it's very subtle, kind of like they did with the Vader shadow in Phantom Menace, like the poster. Just something like that where it's like, all right, this is Luke. And then you throw in, it doesn't have to be Duel of the Fates, which they kind of had, like you said, like a chorusy, choiry feel to it. But if there was something maybe a little more top shelf, right? And you're going the John Williams shit, which is a little more expensive, I imagine. But hey, you're throwing the Obi-Wan series, I thought was going to be the crown jewel of the Star Wars television franchise, and I think as of now we'll get into it later about where we rank this compared to the others. I don't think it's there. I think you throw John Williams, I think it helps your cause personally.
I think you're right, and I feel bad saying it because I loved Natalie Holt's score for Loki, but nothing that she did in this show necessarily blew me away like it did in Loki. Like Loki, it felt like every week I was like, oh my god, the score was so good. In this show, we didn't have those moments really.
Yeah, and we're not like score guys. I know I'm most certainly not a score guy, but in Loki, I remember being like, holy shit. And I think there is more of a blank canvas you have with Marvel that you can kind of do what you want to do. Where Star Wars is like, you kind of have to have like hit those notes with it because it makes you feel like you're in that galaxy. And I don't know. And again, it's like John motherfucking Williams is the guy who's usually conducting those notes. Kind of a high bar to set that you have to kind of like copy it or go your own way off of. So that was something that I did see. Was it? And it's like, it's fine the way it was. It's just, I think that would brought it to another level personally because I fucking love John Williams so much.
Agreed. Shout out John Williams. In the midst of this fight, Vader buries Obi-Wan under some rubble, and it's a lot of rubble. I mean, he just buries him and then throws rock after rock after rock after rock on him. It's almost like the Kylo Ren, more, more. He just keeps going, and then he leaves him there. And you and me said to each other, like you said immediately, like, you're just gonna leave him there? Obviously, you didn't kill him. Like you could sense that with the Force, right? where it's like, oh, that life form, yeah, he's dead, or maybe not. He thinks of Obi-Wan, thinks of Luke and Leia to escape. Almost reminded me, I said, of Spider-Man Homecoming when he gets trapped under the rubble and he thinks of Tony Stark's voice. If you're nothing without the suit, you shouldn't have it. He sees the reflection of himself in the water and he powers out of that. He then goes up to Vader. He destroys the chest box, which controls the whole suit. He slices his helmet apart, gives Vader the scar that we see in Return of the Jedi. I didn't realize that in the moment, but that's right where it is. And they have a little back and forth. He apologizes, gets real teary eyed. You see Hayden Christensen's eye, and you hear his voice mixed with James Earl Jones's voice. It says like distorted voice comes out of him. It is everything I wanted out of a scene like this for this show. I thought the shot of his eye poking out of that Vader helmet was iconic. I thought it was badass. I thought it was scary. And Obi-Wan calls him Darth. They have this little back and forth about, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. And Vader kind of smiles as he says it, creepy. And then he calls him Darth because in A New Hope, that is what he calls him. And it's always been a weird thing in A New Hope. Like, Ken Jack texted me, like, it's like calling someone Mister. And it's weird that he would call his friend that, but it makes sense now. He's kind of trying to do it as a dig.
I almost feel like if you told me this entire series was to get to that moment and to then like kind of make it all make sense for episode 4, I'd say, yep, that's perfect. That's exactly what we got here. It's not like your name is Solo, right? It's not like that. However, and even like the little, like, I don't know if it was like metaphors or whatever, but you had the James Earl Jones and the Hayden Christensen. So it's like Anakin and Darth Vader. You have the red glow as he's talking as like almost like a Sith Lord, but then you have kind of Anakin creeping out as the blue glow of the lightsaber is on his face. So I thought that shit was very cool. And it kind of goes back to the Darth Vader murdered your father. Well, the motherfucker says, I basically killed Anakin. So it's like, if that came from his mouth from a certain point of view. So, and Obi-Wan is already getting his fucking ammunition for Luke down the road. I also thought Force earthquakes. I was like, oh shit, we're just doing that now. Our boy Vader had the high ground. He had the 28-3 lead and he blew it. What a fucking idiot. And again, I'm not trying to like, I don't know why Darth Vader does this. He did it with the fire. He did it here. He's just like, oh, I kind of beat him and I don't want to kill him. It's like, you thought this dude was fucking your wife. You blamed him for murdering your wife, your pregnant wife, which makes it a little worse. He's your enemy. He's a problem for you no matter what. Kill him, Darth. Like, and as we know in Star Wars, you can put a lightsaber through his gut and he's just going to come back in the next episode, leading off the next episode, or even let off the next episode. She's the first person we see. So it's like, kill him till he is dead. And then even when he's a Force Ghost, chop his head off. When he's a Force Ghost, what are you doing, Darth? I that part, I was like, come on, Vader, show me something. Because that's, again, I love seeing unhinged, crazy Vader. So I thought maybe he's just lazy. Like, listen, nobody, my guy, who's my number one villain, Bob, of all time? Thanos. And look, Thanos was lazy. Thanos had his children take care of a lot of shit for him. And especially like he got washed in the first Avengers, his army. And until he took care of it himself, put the gauntlet on, he got shit done. Darth Vader was kind of the same way here. So I'm not going to criticize. I'm going to criticize him for it, but I'm not going to hold it against him. Because again, that's just a villain thing. I completely understand it. That being said, I can't believe we had fucking Obi-Wan. He brought rocks to a lightsaber fight and ended up winning because of it, right? You'd never think you'd bring rocks to a lightsaber fight.
Lifted the rocks up. That was a badass shot too, with him just with all the rocks behind him. It was like, oh shit, this is powerful Obi-Wan. Probably as powerful as we've ever seen him in a live action show.
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of weird. I'm like, why didn't they do this in Mustafar? And I guess that was a different time or whatever. But I honestly didn't even know Obi-Wan had that in him. I didn't know he had it in him at his peak. Did he do this in Clone Wars at all? Did he just fuck with some? Okay. Because I would think Darth Vader could do that because he's Darth Vader. He pulled a fucking spaceship down an episode ago, but I didn't know Obi-Wan could just start throwing rocks and shit like that. So I love it. Unfortunately, it's probably the last we get of this Obi-Wan because he's probably going to just become old Ben in the desert from here on out. But I kind of love that we got to see it. And again, like you said, the crack in the helmet, the scar, all that kind of shit. That was the nice dessert of this all. That was what's your go-to dessert at a restaurant? Like not fancy, but like what are you looking for when you get the dessert menu?
I like a plain vanilla shake. Maybe that's so boring, but I like just a plain vanilla shake. I got a Oreo McFlurry to wait for the Obi-Wan finale last
Nice.
night. That was nice. Yeah.
That's nice. So I'm perfect. Like I like a good brownie sundae or like a nice hot chocolate chip, like a la mode or something like that. And that's what I felt like this was. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't going to fill me up. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it just made you feel good by the end of it. That
Did it live up
this
to the hype for you, the fight? It did for me.
I don't I built up the fight probably unfairly in my mind because I'm thinking revenge, like rematch of the century. That was a rematch of the century. Would you? I personally would have been fine if Mustafar was the last fight. If
That's fair.
you know, because I do think the way he leaves him there, and then to think the next time he sees him is on the Death Star, and it's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
like it's been a, but I think that adds some gravity. There's been two. The first one was kind of a sparring session where he drags
True.
him through the crystals or whatever, but this one it felt like, but again, he
The
does say,
helmet motive, the helmet moment made it for me.
yeah, and when he says last time we were together you were the master, Obi-Wan established himself as much the master in this one as he did in the first one. I'm actually kind of like, damn, Darth, you suck. Obi-Wan just has it. Nobody knows this more at Barstool Sports more than my guy Bob Fox. Styles make fights, right? Like
Mhm.
there's just like who was Connor's like kryptonite?
Khabib.
Khabib, right? It's that kind of dude. So I feel like Anakin, that like Obi-Wan's just his Khabib. It's just the way he fights is just was never going to be it. Plus, all the knowledge he had from the Jedi. And Anakin never technically became a. Is he always a Padawan?
I
He ever
guess
become a
Jedi
Jedi?
Knight he was, I think, at
Yeah.
some
Okay.
point.
So, yeah, I would have been fine with it never happening this fight, but at the same like it didn't hit the rematch of the century, and we're just having fun with that kind of shit. It's like Clegane Bowl. People are like, did Clegane Bowl match the fucking name Clegane Bowl? It kind of carries in here.
Yeah. Let's talk about HelloFresh. We got our sponsor back, one of our favorite sponsors back. They deliver fresh quality produce from the farm to your door so you can savor summer flavors right from home. Foolproof step-by-step recipes for a stress-free summer. Plus, HelloFresh cuts back on time spent in the kitchen with meals ready in around 30 minutes or less. That's true. You can't mess this stuff up. They give you the instructional, they give you the sheet, all of the ingredients you need, and you could discover seasonal summer recipes like cucumber salad stuffed pita pockets, chicken sausage stuffed peppers. I love some stuffed peppers, Tuscan spice shrimp, and so much more. Going away this summer, update your delivery address and enjoy HelloFresh on vacation as well. They'll send it to you while you're on vacation. And their newest menu release includes Mediterranean recipes that are filled with fresh fruits, veggies, nuts, olive oils, and fiber packed whole grains for nourishing balance. I love this stuff. I swear by it. Clem has used it as well. If you go
Yep.
to HelloFresh.com/Robbie16, ROBBIE 16, and use that same promo code Robbie16, you'll get up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. You might get one of those toys that Obi-Wan gave to Luke, the T16. Is that what it's called?
I could see that too, because again, this is coming straight from the farm, right? So it's like Owen's like, what do I do with this? He's a farmer. He's just like, fuck, I'll give this toy to one of the Hello Fresh people instead of the kid and have him dreaming about becoming, a starfighter pilot.
Fact. So go to HelloFresh, get your meals today. It's a great deal. It's a great meal. Oh, look at that. Oh, I don't know it.
Whoa!
Oh,
You guys can use that Hello Fresh. My guy Bob Fox, he came up with that one on the
great deals,
fly.
great meals. That's HelloFresh. It's America's #1 meal kit for a reason. Now back to Tatooine. Riva makes Luke slip and knocks him out. He's completely unconscious. She sees him up against a rock. She ignites that lightsaber. And I said to you, like, I get that Riva's supposed to be a bad guy, but oh my God, this is brutal. She's just gonna stab this kid to like get one over on Luke and Obi-Wan. All right. She's the most evil person in the world. But no, of course, it is like we predicted. Riva sees herself in Luke and she realizes, oh my God, I'm Anakin. I'm the guy that I've been hunting down my entire life. What am I doing? And she walks him back to the farm. She picks him up, walks him back just as Obi-Wan is getting there, and Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen are looking for Luke. They're actually doing the classic Beru and Owen thing where they just stand outside the farm yelling his name until he comes. Not really doing much looking. But yeah, this was what I predicted, and it was well executed. I thought it. I thought it wrapped a good bow on Reva's entire story arc, And I think Reva episode 6, when you know her whole story, is better than Reva episode 1, where you're like, where does this character's motivations lie and whatnot. Well done, I thought.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of people say it could have been written better. If it was maybe written
Okay.
better and maybe the way it was all
Yeah.
played out, it could have been like a better thing. But again, like a young one who was at Order 66 and then kind of grows up and learns to hate like Vader and Obi-Wan, which was kind of unique. But yeah, we were watching it and we're just like, is she just gonna like fucking stab like an unconscious Luke? Like, that is some dark ass shit right there. And we know Luke's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Which again, it kind of like it's always hard with these prequel things when you know the character survives in the end when it's all said and done. But
Would have been
again,
great if he just messed with everyone's minds and like an old Luke Skywalker came back to save his young self at the end, like Mandalorian season 2 again.
yes,
You just see the green lightsaber ignite, and we're like, wait, what the fuck?
or like a little Grogu comes in and he saves the day, and like
Yeah.
he knows Reva because they trained together at the Jedi Temple. That would be some. Twitter
Han
would have
Solo comes in on the
great.
Falcon like the end of A New Hope, just like he saves the day at the end.
And then Reva goes, "What?" I always love the Darth Vader "What" is one of my favorite sound bites of all time. And again, the fighting of Owen and Beru was kind of the thing for me. Like Owen hitting her right in the fucking guts, knowing
Oh
that
yeah, Owen got to like he wasn't holding a lightsaber; it was just like a pipe, but he was trying for a bit. Yeah.
yeah, and Beru was like scratching and clawing. It felt like watching girls fight in high school. Which I'm telling you, I don't know about your high school. When girls fought, it was furious, and you
Brutal.
have
No, same thing in my high school.
yeah. When
Yeah.
guys fight, you're like a little scared that someone's gonna get hurt or like you could get hurt, like in terms of just like two just monsters colliding. But when girls fight, you're just like, holy shit, there is a whole other level of like anger in the air. It's just something I don't know if it's testosterone versus estrogen, but there's just a difference in the air. Whatever the fuck it is, it's wild. And when Obi-Wan comes down and like we're looking and they're like, he's gone. He's like, he's gone. The fucking like the son of Space Hitler is just gone. What are you talking about right now?
It's
The
like, do you
potential.
realize what I just went through with Leia? Did you not try to put him in your trench coat?
Well done, Bob Fox. Well done. Oh, that was great. I thought it was great. And then she just brings him back like sleeping. It's
She
like, here you
brings it
go.
back also so creepy. If you're Owen or Baru, you're like, put my fucking kid down. What in the world is happening right now? Why are you crying? I don't care about your story arc. Give me my kid back.
Are there police in Tatooine too? Like, did
No
we ever think
way.
about that? No way, right?
No
Yeah, I
way.
guess not.
Yeah. In this
Like,
era, it's right after Order 66. The police are like stormtroopers.
and then you have to think you're like a moisture farm in the middle of the desert, so it's not like we'll be here in like 10 hours. We'll be out there.
Yeah.
Reva will be taking care of whatever it is. So yeah, dumb question by me, admittedly.
Obi-Wan helps her bury her lightsaber, leave that part of her life behind, buries it with the Force. And then we cut to Darth Vader on his castle in Mustafar, and he's talking to our guy Sheev, Palpatine. First scene for the Emperor, he's talking to him via hologram, and Sheev is kind of telling him, I think you're too focused on Obi-Wan. I think this old master is becoming an issue for you. Darth Vader tells him Obi-Wan means nothing to me now. So I guess that is sort of the first 10 years after the fight in Order 66. Vader was dead set on Obi-Wan. We got to fucking kill this guy. And then I assume for the next 9 years, the Emperor's like, hey, dude, we got to build this Death Star, and you're taking way too many days off to go after your old master. So how about you focus on Empire stuff? And now he's like, all right, I'm going to focus on your stuff. You're my new master, Emperor. And he doesn't see him again till A New Hope, you would imagine.
After that, shield gets lowered. That's the next time they see each other. It was cool seeing the Emperor. It would have been cool seeing the Emperor for the first time since Jedi in this episode, right? Other than the prequels, obviously, where he's the senator or whatever.
Yeah.
I was almost waiting for like another reveal. You know how like they're like up the Death Star plans are in the background, or Moff
Oh, yeah.
Tarkin's walking in the back, which I'm fine with it. And you said very cool throne shot of it all. I just love the planet. I just love that planet in general. I could visit
Agreed.
there all the time.
It's
Facts.
a perfect design. Facts. Obi-Wan now goes to visit Leia on Alderaan because she snuck Lola into his pocket. I thought that was also going to become a thing. Maybe she was going to help him in the fight somehow. But I think it was just Leia's way of being like, you got to come back and see me because I don't want this to be the end of our relationship. Leia dresses up almost like Luke at the beginning of A New Hope. Like at the end of this episode, she kind of looks like Luke with the boots, with the holster around her waist and everything. And he gives Lola back and he tells her, you got to be careful if you contact me again, which fits for A New Hope. We were saying, why does she say you served my father in the Clone Wars? But he tells her like, this could be dangerous for you and me. So be careful if you have to contact me. He says to Jimmy Smits, he's like, listen, man, if you have to contact me again, be a little more secretive. And he's like, I hope that day never comes. Obviously, we know that day is coming later. That was a nice little tease as well, I thought.
Leia very much in like the ilk of any kid. The guy who just like saved her life, she just like brushes him aside. Is like, "Where's my toy?" Exactly.
Yeah.
When I come home from vacation or vacation, when I go away for work or whatever, the kids are like, "All right, where's my souvenir?" Oh yeah, by the way, Dad, nice to see you again. Thanks for the gift of life and everything that I've ever had in my life. But where's like the gift for it? I love that. That was very real. And Leia, like you think she starts the episode where she's having someone else get dressed and it's like the whole, misdirection or whatever. And in this one, she's getting dressed, but it's herself. And I mean, that was like baby Carrie Fisher getting dressed, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole vibe of it. So that just becomes her look, I guess, from that point moving forward. My notes here, Bail, you fucking moron. Bail Morana, that's another one. Blockhead Bail. And then Boomer Bail, who doesn't know how to use the fucking internet correctly. So just an absolute
Bail Morana is good, Clem. I like that one a lot.
Is that gonna be our hashtag? Hashtag Bail Morana? We're just gonna keep
Bail
beating it up on
Morana.
there.
You think
I mean-
Obi-Wan went back to Tatooine, started drinking at the bars, being like, I gotta tell you this fucking fucked up story about this guy Bail. Just started letting the secrets fly with a couple blue milks in them.
Politicians, right? Am I right? Right? And he's like nudging him with his elbow. I will never look. And it's like, that's the thing is like Jimmy Smits, it's like everyone's like, oh, I'm so happy Jimmy Smits is back. Or when he first was Bail Organa, I was like, oh man, we got a fucking awesome dude. And now all I see is Bail Morano when I see this guy. Fucking moron. You almost put the entire universe at risk. And you lost your kid too when you know how important she is. Oh, yeah. Bail Morano. And looking back, again, it was Flea and two fucking like lackeys sent just to steal her to lure Obi-Wan. So, I just hate Bail
That
Morano
scene was bad. Let me say that. The scene was bad. The chase scene in the next episode wasn't even great. I thought the actress that played a young Princess Leia was very good, though. We've talked about it before with like, it's hard being a kid character in shows because they're so easily annoying. They're so easily like detracting from the plot. And you're like, Jesus Christ, with the kids. I thought she did a very good job, though. Like you said, like there were scenes where I'm like, oh my God, that's a young Carrie Fisher right there. So I liked seeing Alderaan as well. I liked seeing, okay, this is what the planet was. It was beautiful before Vader destroyed it. Next time I watch A New Hope, I'll probably think of, oh, Alderaan was so beautiful.
Yep, agreed. I don't know. I'm trying to think like from the Star Wars fan, the nitpicker, are they going to say, are they just going to say like, oh, Obi-Wan was helping Leia. Now she's just back in this very public role. I don't know if that's a thing. You know what I mean?
Or what do you mean?
He was just helping. Like he was like Obi-Wan was helping out Leia, right? We know that. Yep. Does Vader know that she's Leia? He doesn't. I mean, obviously, he doesn't know it's his daughter.
No, I don't think so.
It's just Reva's weird obsession to get him out. That was her ploy there. So I guess that's the only thing. And obviously Reva leaves as a changed person, buries the lightsaber, gives back a Luke, which would have been very weird if she tried to stab an unconscious kid. That would have been what was the thing in the beginning? It's like there are some parts of this that are like disturbing. That would have been disturbing. She tried to fucking chop a fucking unconscious kid in half. Which, by the way, I wonder if they removed any of the Order 66 scenes based on everything that's happened in real life.
I don't know.
It felt like it was very quick, the Order 66 scenes, and I feel like this is the one time they could have really expanded upon it. And again, more Order 66. When we're stuck in this era, this exact era, if they want to do a flashback, it doesn't have to be at the temple, but just more ways of how this fucking plan.
Yeah, I would prefer it not to be at the temple after this series. We've seen enough of the temple.
We've seen the temple It's almost like the Morbius, though. It's like it was a meme. It's a very good meme, but we don't need to keep like rehashing at this point.
No. Let me tell everyone about handball yet again. We've talked to you guys about handball for the past couple of weeks, and we're going to continue because we're trying to grow the game here. The American Handball Company is growing the game of handball, the hardest-hitting, high-scoring sport that combines the best parts of basketball, hockey, and soccer. Super popular worldwide. It's one of those things that us as Americans were probably the last ones onto. But the American Handball Company, or TALK, TAHC is the top handball organization in the USA. And whether you want to play, watch, or learn about handball, or you're a gym teacher who wants to add it to the curriculum, Talk is here to grow the game. There's dozens of teams across North America in cities like New York, Detroit, Miami, and Toronto. They're all battling for the championship. And I think just being a handball fan will make your life better. They got some fire uniforms too. They sent some jerseys to the office. I saw Spider walking around with one earlier. Make your life better by following at official underscore TAHC. That's TAHC on Instagram and Twitter. Let's all follow them at official TA underscore TAHC and then tweet them and be like, hey, my mom's basement brought me here. Show them that they made a good investment with their sponsorship with my mom's basement by following them. Give them the follow. They support us. We support them.
We're going to do a live follow on the podcast right now. I apologize that I haven't done it yet. Boom. There we go. Follow done. Followed by Spider. Follow Spider just in life. I think that's just a good way to
I would follow Spider to the ends of the earth, the ends of the galaxy if we're talking about Star Wars. That guy's the best.
And we're also going to do a live retweet. Boom, retweet it right now. If you see this at 11:20 on Wednesday, June 22nd, that was me retweeting the This Is Handball right here video. So shout out to them. Oh, we got PFT. Oh, so we're going in deep with handball right now. Barstool's going in deep, and I'm telling you, how many times did we talk about this? Remember, like the boys didn't know what the boys was, and then it's like, oh, it's fucking awesome, right? Handball's the next fucking thing. Get on while the getting is good. Buy low on handball.
That's right. Back to the show. Obi-Wan moves out of the cave. We said in the beginning, why is he in that cave? He's got to be in his little hut. He's probably going to a real estate agent next. He grabs the toy. He brings it back to Luke, and Owen lets him meet Luke. He's like, hey, do you want to meet the kid? He's like, I fucking do want to meet the kid. And he goes over, and he finally hits one of those. Hello there. On Luke. Come on. That was good. His first hello there to Luke, and then he rides his EOP through the desert and sees our guy Qui-Gon Jinn. Finally, we got the Force Ghost that we wanted. And it wasn't just the voice. It was the person. He's like, I've been here all along. He's like, wait, it took you so long, Master? I was just in a fucking fight, basically. But I thought he looked great. Someone said in the comments, like, oh, he looked weird, whatever. He was 47 when he did Phantom Menace. I think he's 70 now. And I thought he looked pretty much the exact same as he did in that episode.
He's 70?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no! I thought it looked fantastic. You could have told me they filmed that fucking back in the day, or you could told me they filmed it like they was CGI or something,
right?
And I was like, yeah. So I mean, maybe I'm not seeing it. I have to watch again. Like, we didn't mention it, I think, at the time, but Hayden Christensen did look a little older, which I saw like some people on YouTube touched up. But I was like, that's just like whatever. I don't care. Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon, very much not the case. However, Bob, like you said. Welcome to the party, pal. Qui-Gon. I just fought the fucking epitome of evil twice, and you're just
the one on you told me to train. Yeah, it's your fault, really.
Both his fucking kids are both in serious, grave danger. Nothing, not a fucking things from Qui-Gon. So I'm like, what the fuck is with you, Qui-Gon? And then I take a step back, I pause, and I think about it. This is exactly what Darth Qui-Gon would do. He'd be like, hey, man, I was just about to get there, right? I was just going to make it. Darth Qui-Gon, he might be the Phantom Menace this whole time. Maybe Darth
He's like, I showed up on that planet. You were gone already. You had left. What the fuck? I was there with Vader.
Yeah. I don't know the name of it either. Yeah, we were both there. I mean, rocks everywhere. It was craziness going on.
Yeah. You did good in a fight. I was watching from back there. You did great. Yeah.
Oh, I would have loved it if this ended where Darth Qui-Gon like looked back and he has the little Sith eye like Thriller video. You just hear ha, 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 or the Emperor laughing at the end. That would have been great. I said to you again, I make my own shows at this point. What am I saying?
Oh yeah. We definitely do that. Yeah. I said to you as we watched this series end, do you think they're setting up for a season 2 of Obi-Wan going through the Jedi trials that you need to do to become a Force Ghost yourself? We saw a little bit of that in the Clone Wars. Like we saw Yoda go through the Jedi trials to become a Force Ghost, and he had to fight like an evil version of himself, almost like Luke's Dagobah cave scene and whatnot. I think that would be a really cool theory for season 2. I'm just not sure you could base another 6 episodes or whatever around that.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that before. I've seen the Luke stuff on Dagobah and whatever Rey did in the sequel trilogy, but I haven't seen what that would be, what that would entail. I don't. Again, after this series, I would think the meat of the action would have been in this series, and I don't know if there was enough there to be like, all right, now you could do it a different way. That's fine. So I guess there's a chance. I'm not hankering for it. If it happens, it happens. But there's nothing that like I need to have happen. But I like that they left it open. They can do it.
Yep.
I think they probably want to see how everything else performs first. But the fact that they have Ewan ready to rock, that's nice. And Hayden Christensen. And again, if you want to fill in a little more time between now and Rogue One, even with Darth Vader doing whatever the fuck he's doing, and through the Emperor's like vision, because apparently he's going to probably be telling Darth what to do for now on, now that he's not obsessed with Obi-Wan. That could be fine with me, but I don't know as much as a casual fan, but it sounds like there is stuff there that could be some cool stuff. Maybe Darth Maul. Our Darth Maul.
You could do the Darth Maul stuff. You could just bring in that Rebels fight and do it in live action. People love the Rebels fight so much. Can you also do a season 2 where it's not like Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2? You have a new show title, Obi-Wan Vader, Duel of the Fates. And they don't come in contact with each other, but it's just a split show. You go half your time with Obi-Wan in the Jedi Trials, half your time with Vader becoming the galaxy's biggest feared monster.
It's basically like a Cold War, but they're not even like acknowledging each other because they're both in their separate universes. And the fact Vader knows he's alive, that's the other thing too. I always thought Vader would have thought, I mean, I guess he didn't think he was dead after Mustafar either. So I always thought Vader would have thought he was dead, maybe just from old age.
Vader's ego, he probably thinks he's just like that old fuck. He probably thinks of him like he was in episode 3. He's like, he's fucking dead, definitely.
He's washed. Fuck him. Like Vader's like a young kid, right?
Starved to death, yeah.
Broke his hip on the way out and died.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to also think back when we were doing Star Wars stuff way back in the beginning of this podcast, we're like, what was Obi-Wan doing in that game? He was just like masturbating and being a weird old guy. So maybe that would.
And they got the whole show out of it. Yeah, we were like, what are they even going to show in that? He's fucking chilling in a bar on Tatooine. No, yeah, they got a whole show out of it. What is your fast food review of Obi-Wan Kenobi? I saw you tweeted earlier. You said you thought you had the perfect pick.
I feel like I have the perfect pick here. So I enjoyed the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I did not love it. I did not really like it. It was perfectly fine. I think it complements a much better part of the meal, which is the entree, if you may, right? It's not, but not as good as Rogue One did. Because I think the original trilogy, this brings a little more like weight to A New Hope, right? And it kind of does some stuff to it, and even to the future, obviously with the scar and stuff like that, and also kind of goes back to the prequels a little bit, yada yada yada. Rogue One would be something a little better than this. However, I'm gonna give this the crunchy taco supreme at Taco Bell. And listen, it's definitely not a lead item. You're not just getting a taco at Taco Bell and calling it a day. And I'm giving it Supreme on top. I'm giving it that because Darth Vader was the Supreme of this series. He carried this fucking shit. Basically, anything that I love from this had Vader somehow attached to it. And I never even knew what a Supreme was growing up. I was like, what the? I think it's just like sour cream and like maybe some tomatoes on top.
Yeah, some tomatoes, yeah.
So it's like, it could have been more. I also think like 6 episodes allows you to do so much. You could build some stuff. You could do a little more. I don't really like looking back. It's like you said, you're going to remember the big stuff of Obi-Wan, but there was just so much little stuff that is so forgettable too. So it's like, I can't give it a chalupa. I can't give it the gordita. In fact, Rogue One, you know what Rogue One is? That's the nacho cheese Dorito. That thing, that I wasn't expecting much from it. And then when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, let's go. And that thing is a lock to put in, like, whenever I'm having my Star Wars, I'm having my little Doritos. This, I can have it, not have it, whatever. But again, Vader makes it the Supreme, puts a little extra English on top. So that's kind of how I felt. It's again, I think Star Wars still has to figure out their way around the TV shows, but I think that's still like Marvel still has to figure out their way around the TV shows. I think we were saying Star Wars is going to have like maybe the best year out of Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. And at this point, I have them a clear third right now in the race.
Damn. Below DC? Because of Peacemaker?
But it's like Peacemaker's 1-1, right? It's like they're 1-0, right? Is there anything else that's come out? I don't even know. That's the thing. There could be shit that's out. I would even know. But Peacemaker got drafted in the dog walk, and I was like, that was a good pick. I fucking love Peacemaker. So it's a little unfair, but I'll ask you your fast food review before I ask you the next question.
I'm going with a Wendy's chicken sandwich, and that's
Mm-hmm.
because I would prefer a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. They didn't give me exactly what I ordered for with this show. I wanted the home run of, oh my God, that was better than Mando, even. We didn't really get that with this show, but the Wendy's chicken sandwich is enjoyable. I'm going to enjoy it every time, and I might even go back and get it again one day. So I would go with a Wendy's chicken sandwich, but the clear distinction is that I do like the spicy chicken sandwich better.
And the spicy chicken sandwich would be like a Rogue One. Is that fair
Hmm.
to say? That's another like
Yeah,
prequel to A New Hope. Yeah,
definitely.
I think we're in lockstep on that right there. I'm going tacos, you're going chicken sandwiches. That's a beautiful thing. That's what we do in the basement here. Um,
Give
and
us
then
your
my
review in the comments. What
yeah,
fast food item would you compare it to and why?
definitely. And then my next question: this series or the Book of Boba Fett? Which one would you choose right now? Because these are the two series, right, for Star Wars of 2022, and that's I'm having this probably again. Marvel, I don't think has had a great 2022 so far, but I think Doctor Strange is very good. Um, what was their TV?
That's
They've
on Disney Plus today, by the way. If you're listening to this
yeah,
podcast,
yep.
you could go back and watch Doctor Strange, which I'm excited for. I have a flight today. I'm going to do that on my flight.
Nice, nice. So this or Book of Boba Fett, what would you choose? And you have to think Book of Boba Fett, you're like flashback does yada yada yada, but then you're thinking those Mando episodes were fucking sick.
I know. As a series, I think I enjoyed Obi-Wan more, but the peaks of Book of Boba were better than the peaks of Obi-Wan, I thought. I thought the Mando episodes were better than anything in Obi-Wan. So, as a series, I would go Obi-Wan, but the moments I would go Book of Boba.
I would, yeah, if a little fantasy football, it's like a running back that averages 8 points. Would you rather have the running back that gets 8 points every game, like Obi-Wan did, or do you want the guy that gets a 20 and then a 2 and then an
Yeah,
18 and then a 3?
yeah.
And it's like I don't know which one you'd want, but I mean, I want Mando. Just give me. That's the thing. I'm looking
Yeah.
very forward to Mando right now because I think we've learned so far. Mando has been the gold standard of the Star Wars television shows, right? By far. And we're almost spoiled that Mando was like the first series, but also like where Star Wars was, they needed Mando so badly at that point. So I'm happy that it did come back and led with that. But I mean, that should be the gold standard. And I don't think anyone, I mean, we could agree no one's come close to Mando in terms of
Nobody.
Star Wars series. Yeah.
Nobody. And they got a high bar to hit on season 3 now, especially. If
Yeah,
Andor
definitely.
is like a show like this where we're looking at pros and cons at the end of it, like they need to nail season 3, and I think they will. I have the utmost faith in Favreau and Filoni. Ahsoka also in the queue now. I mean, we got Star Wars up the I don't know, I was trying to think of a Star Wars term. Up the Bantha Poodoo.
There we go.
But I'm excited about it, and I hope we do get more Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. I just like him in that role. I would like to see more of him involved in the Star Wars universe. Even Hayden back as Darth Vader. I'm down for that as well. I'm down to not see these guys walk away from Star Wars just yet. And I had a great time recapping the series with you, Clem. I hope
Yep.
everyone else
I'm
had a
here.
great time listening to the recaps and whatnot. We'll be back next week. I think next week will probably be our Stranger Things season 2 preview episode, and then we'll figure out the podcast from there. We're obviously going to continue the Miss Marvel quick hitters on YouTube. I've been doing a lot more shorts on YouTube. I hope I'm not clogging anyone's feed too much. Just trying to get the views up, save the podcast. I've been doing TikToks. Some of the TikToks are exploding. Follow us at My Mom's Basement Podcast. I did a Beatles one that did over 400,000 loops in a day. That blew my mind. The Beatles still bringing the numbies
Bob
50
Talks
years
getting
later.
hot right now. Bob Talks. I fucking love it. Yeah.
Bob
So
Talks. I
again,
like that.
subscribe, follow the podcast. Guys, give us the reviews, give us the comments, obviously, but the reviews on the podcast and stuff like that. Again, we don't know what this world at Barstool is going to look like in terms of podcasts. And I mean, we're the only nerd podcast here, but I mean, I think it's a numbers thing at some point. It's going to become with people. So if we don't have the numbers, we're going to be fucking getting the Alderaan treatment. I don't want to get the Alderaan treatment. So just do whatever you guys can to keep the
And
lights on here.
hashtag fail or bail Morana.
More hashtag Bail Morana. And like Bob said, Stranger Things probably next week, full preview of part 2, which was fucking, I'm stoked for, which is part 1. We did full blown like we did like 15-minute recaps of each episode only on the YouTube. So, because again, the way Barstool works with the podcast now, you just can't upload a million podcasts every single week. So check them out on the YouTube there. Again, thumbs up, comment, all that kind of stuff, just to show interaction to the bigwigs here. And then we'll be doing recaps of part 2 of Stranger Things. And then we'll have some merch coming out. We're gonna have a whole lot of stuff going on.
Oh,
here.
the
So
merch is fire. Keep your eyes out for the new merch. Nathan
multi-host
knocked it out of the park. Yeah. Oh my God. If you're into Stranger Things, we got some must-buy shirts coming down the pipeline.
And again, and we will the Filoni shirt, the Star Wars Filoni shirt. That'll come out when we're getting like a main course fast food meal. This was not worthy of the Filoni shirt, I don't think. You know, even though he's not like involved with it like he was with Mando.
Mando season 3, probably.
Probably, exactly. Hopefully. So
or Tales of the Jedi. I know we're getting an animated series. If that blows people away, we'll think about it.
We'll think about it. We'll be nice enough to give it to you guys.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you leave your comments below your fast food item and hashtag fail Marana or bail Marana or either one. You could do either one. All right.
Idiot, fucking idiot, Marana.